Back in 2018, while looking for some flight details, I got this idea of a self planned Euro trip. I made the bookings with some apprehension and then went ahead and made my stay booking through Airbnb. However, I planned my bookings in such a way that my maximum stay is in Italy, so I can get an Schengen visa from Italy. This was because we had an Italian consulate in Kolkata. However, our port of entry would be Paris. Finally, it was around mid May in the year 2018 that we started our long awaited Euro tour. Unfortunately, we met with some obstacles right at the beginning of our tour. We missed our connecting flight from Mumbai as our flight from Kolkata was nearly 3 to 4 hours delayed. At midnight, we had to do a lot of running and arrange for an alternate flight which was through Istanbul. And this resulted in losing one day in Paris. So we had to cut short few of our plans for Paris. The pictures that you see now are of Paris, which were taken from the second floor of Eiffel Tower. However, there were multiple other obstacles in this tour as well, and as this progresses, I'll narrate them eventually. But looking back today, they are all part of a very memorable experience. The first thing we did on reaching Paris was to get our passes for availing the public transports of Paris. We took a 3-day pass. We needed our passport size photographs, which we had carried from Kolkata. We got in touch with our Airbnb contact through the Airbnb app, and we found him waiting in front of our booked apartment. We used the Airbnb chat for inter-language communication between French and English. It was a cute 1-bedroom apartment with a kitchen, and we very much enjoyed our stay there. The next morning, we got up early and got ready for the Paris city tour. We walked through the streets of Paris and took Paris public transport to reach the Notre Dame Church. After having a feel of the city of Paris and also enjoying some nice ice cream, we decided to visit Arc de Triomphe, which is another landmark of the city of Paris. Finally, around 10 am, we took Paris public transport and made our way towards the famous Eiffel Tower. As we approached the Eiffel Tower, we could see it through various bylines and we could see several glimpses of it. We took the elevator to the second floor of Eiffel Tower and had a wonderful view of the city of Paris. Coming down from the Eiffel Tower, we approached the Seine River, which was just by its side. We wanted to take the river cruise and enjoy the city of Paris through the river. However, it got cloudy and started to drizzle, and we were just in time to board our launch as it started to rain heavily. However, though it was raining, it did not dampen our mood. We could still have a nice tour of the city of Paris. The cruise took us through major attractions, which included the Louvre Museum. As the rain took a pause, I also took a walk on the deck of the launch. It was a real nice experience to sail through Paris. However, later in the evening it started to rain again and we had a very hard time getting back to our Airbnb apartment. The next morning we took a train to Disneyland. It was approximately a 40 minutes ride. We already had booked our tickets for Disneyland while we were in Kolkata. At Disney World, we enjoyed the rides and the carnivals throughout the day. It was a splendid ambience. There is an hourly carnival or a procession, and there's one big procession at the end of the day. It's around 5 p.m. in the evening. There you can see your favorite Disney characters come alive, and the children were really thrilled. If you stay long enough at night, you can watch the fireworks in Disneyland. We came back to Paris late evening to witness the lightning at Eiffel Tower. However, it was quite late, almost 10:30 pm, when the sun went down and the lighting started. Next day, we took our flight to Zurich, Switzerland. The flight was again delayed by 2 hours due to some technical problems in the airport. Our Airbnb stay was in a very nice place. It was really beautiful around, and the weather was also very nice with clear visibility. It was very important that we have a good visibility as we had only one day in Zurich. So we started early next morning on our way to Titlis. A train journey in Switzerland is an excursion in itself. You can spend hours on a train in Switzerland. We had made the necessary arrangement for all the passes the day before on our arrival to Zurich. After passing through lakes and mountains, we reached Engelberg via Lucerne. From Engelberg, we need to catch ropeway for Titlis. There are two ropeways, first a normal one and then a rotating one. This is the beautiful town of Engelberg. The ropeway passes through the beautiful Lake Trubsee, where if you want you can get down and have a walk. Finally we reached snow-covered Titlis. We had a splendid time there. On our return, we took a walk through the beautiful town of Lucerne. There we saw the wooden bridge, the old town, and of course the picturesque Lucerne Lake. We also took a coffee and snack break beside the old town. We spent the next morning walking around Zurich Lake before we boarded our flight for Venice. En route Venice, we had a marvelous aerial view of the Alps mountains. The city of Venice also looked awesome from the sky. And finally we were in Venice. We stayed at Mestre, which was 2 stops away from Venice, where we had breakfast at our Airbnb and took the Vaporati from Venice to reach the colorful town of Burano. It was a beautiful, small, colorful town, and we enjoyed having a walk through the lanes of Burano. After having lunch at Burano, we returned to Venice at San Marco Square. Earlier during my work visit, I had stayed at San Marco Square. It's a lovely place to stay, and it's nice to have a walk through the lanes of Venice, which gives you a feel of actual Venice. In the evening at San Marco Square, there are events of music and dance arranged by all the hotels surrounding the place. Finally, we took the long-awaited gondola ride and had a sightseeing of the city of Venice. We saw the prison, we saw the beautiful palace, the house of Casanova, and many more tourist attractions of Venice. Next morning, we started our journey to Rome on a train from Venice. We had pre-booked this train from Kolkata via internet. After checking in the heart of the city at our Airbnb in Rome, we went to visit the Trevi Fountain. These are called piazzas or squares. We went to see the Venezia Piazza in the evening, and we spent our late evening at the Piazza Venezia. We also had our dinner there and had a lovely view of the sunlit city of Rome. As they say, Rome was not built in a day. This is the view from the restaurant where we had our dinner that evening. Next morning, we took a bus to the Colosseum. The Colosseum was heavily crowded and there were long queues waiting to enter the Colosseum. However, we took one of the guided tours, but that did not save us much time. We waited and listened to the background of the Colosseum while someone got the tickets for us on behalf of us from the guided tour company. We spent some time walking around the Colosseum, enjoying the history of Rome over there. From Colosseum, we went to visit the Pantheon, which is a temple of Roman gods. We spent some time around the Pantheon and then we left for Vatican City. We spent the rest of the evening at the Vatican City. Next morning, we boarded a train for Pisa, and we also planned to visit Florence after that. It was heavily raining when we reached Pisa, but fortunately the sun shone and the rain stopped, and we had a nice view of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We were delayed by 5 hours because of a train accident while going to Pisa, so we had to make Pisa really fast, and then we caught the train to Florence. However, since the day was long, we could manage some of Florence. We took a city tour of Florence through one of the public transports, and then we walked around the city of Florence, enjoying the beautiful city. We could only enjoy Florence because the days were long. Finally, we had our dinner at Florence. Next day, we had our return flight to Kolkata, but before that we had some time, so we kept our luggage at the cloakroom and visited the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum has ruins of ancient Rome, where we could see the architectures of ancient Rome. Finally, we visited Piazza Navona, which is the largest piazza of Rome. We had our lunch there and enjoyed the evening before we took off for the airport, from where we would board our flight back home. We came back to Kolkata with a lot of sweet memories in our heart and with a piece of Europe in our showcase. In spite of all the obstacles, it was still a very memorable tour.